Okay. No problem.
So now you can see that we need to identify the proper break of what of the structure. So now you can see that this for me is not a breakout, because you can see that this kind of stick couldn't break above this structure, because of now we're seeing a double top formation. So what's going to basically happen is that we're going to be waiting for that kind of stick that's going to confirm with us to say some sort of like a bearish engulfing. Some sort of like a bearish engulfing. Once we do get this bearish engulfing, obviously with some wicks from below or above, and then you can see that now we're entering our position here. So now we can see that this is not a breakout. You can see that we failed to break above here. But now going back to your question, the question was, how do you identify a proper breakout structure? The only way to identify a proper breakout structure is when the market does what? Closes above this previous higher high, because you can see that this is what is low and this one is high. Then we have lower lows. Then now we are in the verge of creating what? A new higher highs. But now we've broken above this what? These previous higher highs here. So now we are creating new higher highs. So now you can see that this is a proper breakout for me. I wait for the candlestick to close. As you can see that this candlestick closed above the structure. This was previous higher highs. It didn't just spike up and then come back. It closed above. So for me, that is the proper breakout of what? Of structure.
Okay.
Understand that. So now,
Yes, sir.
yes. So now going back to the question as to how to draw your proper support and resistance, is still the same process. It's either you're gonna take you're gonna have the structure like this. You have the high, you have the low, and then we have the high, you have the low, returning of a retest, and then continuation. So now you can see that these highs here, this is where you're gonna have to throw out your support or your resistance. So you can see that here it was a resistance that was turned into support. So now you can see that another support, another resistance here, which is turning into what now? Into support. As you can see that we're gonna be coming back forward for a retracement and then a continuation pattern. So this is basically how you draw what? Your support and resistance. But then another thing that you should focus on to, my brother, a lot, you should focus on to if the area is being respected by price multiple times. So now this is how we identify to say this is a strong level of what? Of resistance, or this is a weak level of resistance. Once we see many bounces of what? Of price bouncing from this area and this area and this area, then that's when we know exactly that, okay, each and every time price comes into this key area, it does what? It rejects or it breaks and come forward for some sort of a retest. So now we know that this for us is a strong level of what? Of resistance. And again, we don't draw this level or this key area on what? On 50-minute time frame. We draw these key areas on what? On H4 time frame. So I feel like H4, especially when we are day trading, H4 is the most preferable time frame for you to throw what? To throw your key areas. You can still go to daily time frame. You can still go to daily time frame if probably mostly the H4 time frame is not what? Is not most clear.
Okay.
So now going into real-time charts, my brother, as you can see, this is real-time chart. So you can see that this era for me, I didn't throw this. Let me just remove this. This era for me, I didn't throw this key era for me at 15-minute time frame. I threw this key era on H4 time frame. You can see that price has been rejecting this key era for me. So now what is that I see? I see that we have these lows and then we have these higher lows. We broke these previous lower highs. You can see that we were in a downtrend. We broke these previous lower highs and now we're creating new higher highs. So what happens is that we failed to break these lower lows here, and then we turned inside here. So what is that I'm looking out for now? I'm looking for price to break above these previous highs. And once we do, and as I was explaining to you, my brother, you can see that the way I was telling you that we draw our key era, you can already see now that we did break above these previous higher highs here. You can see that we did break and we did close above these previous higher highs. So now we can look for we can look for a scaling in position in this area here. So how are we going to enter? We're not going to enter now because of now. It could be that the price can do this. it can break out of structure and then come back into structure and start to form some sort of continuation pattern and then continue to shoot to the downside. So you don't want this, you don't want to be caught on the wrong side of the market. Excuse me. So what is that you wait for? You wait for this candlestick to do what? To do a candlestick, what you call a candlestick rejection. So once we do, let me just put in my Wall Street. Okay, so once we do get this candlestick rejection like this, that is for us what a candlestick confirmation to say there are a lot of there are a lot of sellers who are trying to push market to the downside, but eventually they fail to push price to the downside, and we're seeing buyers winning this battle because of they eventually push the price up, and we closed as a rejection candlestick. You see that once we got this rejection candlestick, then that's when we can do what? We can enter this position. So you can see that this is what we call structure, but it's not picture perfect. As you can see that there's some sort of lot of manipulations that are happening in the structure. Like it's not picture perfect, but once we are able to identify the structure in these type of scenarios, then you're gonna be able to be a consistent and a successful trader. So now, going back to the question, the last question I think we have is how to identify proper entries on lower time frame, while you have already identified the trade on bigger time frame. Okay, I'm trying to remove this thing. I want to. Okay. Just a few minutes while I'm still removing this.
No problem.
Okay, let's work with this one. Okay, so now, my brother, you can see that we have what this is our H4 time frame. Let me just label this. This is our H4 time frame, right? We are on our H4 time frame. Now we see that price is in a bullish momentum. Price has been making high highs, high lows, high highs, high lows, high highs. So price is in a bullish momentum. But now, what is it that we are experiencing in these high highs, high lows, high highs, high lows? We are experiencing this retracement. So now this phase is not a trend, but it's a retracement on what? On our H4 time frame. On our H4 time frame. So now we see that now we are at what? We are at the resistance here. So this area for us is this area. This area here is this area for us. So now we're coming back forward for retracement. So this area here is what is this area, as you can see, and then this area here is the same as this area here, as you can see. So I guess I illustrated that one perfectly. So now we came back for what? For retracement, and now we are at this area here. Let me just put in, let me just remove this. I want to put in this. So now we are at this, we are in this area now. So what is it that we wait for now? It's a simple process that always repeat itself in the market. So I want you to look at this. Once we are at the support resistance, you now need to go to where? You now need to go to your 15-minute time frame. You now need to go to your 15-minute time frame, right? So now, whatever that you are looking at for now is on what? On 15-minute time frame. So on 15-minute time frame, you need to see this. You need to see structure. Let me just put in this. So now on 15-minute time frame, you need to see structure developing up. So once you see structure pushing to the upside, yes, we haven't broken above this structure as yet, but we are looking at a bullish momentum, right? So what is it that we want to see? We want to see the development of structure, and then we want to see this pullback. Once we do get this pullback, remember now whatever that happens on H4 time frame, it didn't just start on H4 time frame, but it started on what? It started on 15-minute time frame, started on 5-minute time frame. Whatever that you see that is big, remember when you're starting a business, you don't just start a multi-millionaire business. You start somewhere, you start small, and then you grow. So whatever that is big that you see, it always starts from being small, and then eventually it grows. So we want to see this structure developing on where? On smaller time frame. So now on smaller time frame, we can see that we have what? We have this structure developing. We can see that we have these highs, and then we come back for a retest of what? Lower highs. And then what we can do, you can just put your Fibonacci from this low to these highs. So you can see that you can just put your Fibonacci from this low to this. Okay. Okay, you can just put your Fibonacci from this low to this high. Once we reject this 15-minute, this 0.5 and 0.61 Fibonacci level, which is our golden ratio. I call it my golden ratio. Yes. Once we reject this golden ratio here on Fibonacci level, and then this is where we are looking for buying opportunities on smaller time frame, 15-minute time frame. And then we enter our long position here. We enter our long position, our target is somewhere here. So you can see that our target is almost at our what? Our resistance. Make sure that you want to make sure that you put your stop loss just below here, just to give your trade some bit of more room to breathe. You can see that it's like 3.5, is like 3.5% on this position. So this is what you always look for on what? On your chart. So let us now go back into real chart. So now on real chart, you can see that if I go to my H4 time frame, on real chart, if I can just go to my H4 time frame, on my H4 time frame on gold, you can literally see that we are in a bullish market. Now you can see that we are pushing in a bullish market. So now if you can see that we are in a bullish market, then what is it that you see? You see price coming back to test these areas here. You can see that now we are coming to test this retracement here. Someone can say, Mamba, this is not a retracement, this is a move. You can see it's so impulsive. For me, I'm not yet convinced that this is what is a move until maybe probably if I see price pushing to the upside, coming and testing these areas, and then continue to push all the way to the downside, then I can say, okay, now we are looking at what a bearish momentum. Once we break below this structure, then I can say that now we are looking at a bearish momentum. But now you can see that we haven't broken yet below this structure here. So you can see that we're still looking for some sort of like a bullish structure. If we do get the break above this structure and then continuation pattern, but you don't have to worry yourself about that. On H4 time frame, we've already identified the trend. We are bullish in trend, and you can see that we came back for a retest. And then we go to our 15-minute time frame. So on our 15-minute time frame, what is that we are looking at for? We are looking for structural development. So now you can see that structural development, you can see that we have these previous highs. We have this previous highs, which has been respected by price. You can see that what happened in price. Price broke above in this area. Yes, it did manipulate these areas here, but eventually you can see that it did come above and then came back forward some bit of retest, and then we're looking for buying opportunities to this retest. So our target here is this area of our resistance. Remember, each and every time when you're entering a position, you need to make sure that you enter at your key area and you exit at your key area. So you can see that we are looking at about 2.5% on this position, just this position alone, and you can still adjust the stop loss just below this area to make sure that it doesn't go a long way with red positions with you. So you can see that the structural development of smaller time frame, you can see that we are now starting to trend to the upside. You can see that we are starting to trend bullish now. As you can see, even if I can just draw my trend line here, you can see that we've been respecting this trend line here. As you can see, we are at the third touch, so you can start to look forward for buying opportunities. But this thing that I'm showing you here, you can see that this structure that is developing here, you can never see this structure on H4 time frame. On H4 time frame, you're gonna only be able to see this spike was of retracement. So you go to smaller time frame after you've identified your key area on H4 time frame. You go to smaller time frame so that you can be able to do to spot. Okay, sorry about that. So that you can be able to do to spot those higher highs, higher lows that are developing on smaller time frame.
Okay.
You got that.
Yeah, I got that now. I know it's a lot of help. Thank you.
Powerful, that's powerful, my brother. So what I need you to do now, I'm gonna be following up on your progress, right? So what I need you to do, my brother, is that I need you to go home and start doing back testing, right? So I want you to back test following these questions that you just asked here. Or I think we lost the questions. Following those questions that you just asked, I want you to do back testing, and then you can also just to give you some additional information on this one. You can also do this identify trend. So now this is the first step for you. You have to be able to identify trend, whether we are in a up or down whether we are in an up or down trend. You need to identify whether we're up or down trend. And then again, the second, so here, what I'm actually doing for you, I'm actually helping you develop your trading plan, right? So once you know that we are in an up or down trend, so we don't focus on a ranging market, we focus on a trending market, whether it's going up or down. So now you need to see if you are at a key area of resistance or support. So now you need to ask yourself this second question. So the first question that you need to ask yourself is, are we trending up or down on H4 time frame, right? Then the second question that you need to ask yourself, are we at the key area? Are we at the support or resistance? Okay, so now for an example, let's say we are trending up, right? So now the second question is, are we at the resistance or support? Okay, we are at the what? We're at the support. So when we are at the support, what is it that we are doing? We're looking for buying opportunities because of we are trading with the trend, not against the trend. So the third question that you need to ask yourself, do I have candle? Do I have candlestick confirmation? Yes. Do I get candlestick confirmation? Be it bearish engulfing, bullish engulfing, rejection candlesticks, doji candlestick, evening morning star, be it any candlestick that you want to use, or any candlestick that is presentable at that time, you can use that type of candlestick. But I don't want us to go into deep about candlestick formation, which are having high preferences to how to use and all that. So what I want you to do now is just focus on these three key set of rules, this simple three set of rules, focus on them. And then once you do have this, I know that the third question you're going to come back for me to ask which candlestick that have more high preference on that. So just don't focus on that one for now. Just focus on identifying the trend and knowing your key areas, your support and resistance, be it your order blocks, be it your supply and demand, whatever they call it. Know how to draw them and know how to trade them. And then the next session that we're going to have, we're going to be just going down to reading price action now. So it doesn't end here, my brother. Now we still need to know how to read price action as to what is it that we might expect the price to do. Can you expect a breakout? Can you expect a rejection of the candle? So now just go and backtest these three key things that I just given you. And then the next session, we're going to be doing candlestick confirmation. And then we're going to be reading the pure price action, because of support and resistance. They are there to point out the key areas for us, but we're not trading based on them. We trade based on what? On price action. You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, no problem.
Yeah. So
Okay.
please, my brother, I'm just going to do a follow-up on your progress as well. Please make sure that you give me something, be it you are using some sort of like a Notion or whatever app that you're going to be using to journal your backtesting results, so that I can be able to track the progress and see if you are really putting in the work. And then if you can modify somewhere in your journey, then we can see where we can modify.
Okay, okay, no problem. No, thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you
was
so
really
much, my
good help.
brother. Thank you so much, my brother. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the session. You can also text me on Discord and then just do a review of the session as to how did you get this session helpful to you? Was it helpful, or it was just one of those sessions, or just something you already know? But your review will be highly appreciated on that one. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.